Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Infinite Abilities Podcast. I am your host, Nick Yerhart, and we are here to encourage each other to find our own unique abilities. Let's go. All right, everyone. So today we have Kim Beam, and I know that this is going to be an awesome episode because we just spent 10 minutes just gambling, rambling on, and just talking. So it's going to be a good show. So, Kim, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. I am an intuitive. So I'm an intuitive reader. And what that means is that I read energy and I kind of pick up what's going on in your atmosphere and then help you find the best possible choices for the situation you're in if you are one of those people that's like stuck and can't figure out where what would be the best avenue to walk in, basically.
Awesome, awesome. And what got you on this journey?
Oh, I've sort of been on it my whole life. I've been sort of a spiritual junkie, right? I was raised Jewish. I converted to Christianity. I got super sick, left Christianity, but I was like still like spirit was still pulling at me. When I was in the church, I was working with a prophetic team. That's what they called it. And so people would come up to me after church on Sundays and ask me to basically give them an intuitive reading. They would say, "Can you tap into spirit for me and tell me like what's coming or what do you see?" And I'd be like, "I got this." And I'm like, "I don't know what it means, but here it is." And I'd like hand over the imagery that I got: a swimming pool, a soccer ball, right? And sometimes I'd be like, "Oh, what I'm seeing is," and like I've received a number of these words myself, and so I'll share some that I've been given. That was like somebody came up to me and said, "I just see like a door followed by another door, followed by another door, like really close, door, 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 and all of them just open." They're all just opening for you. So like you open one door and there's another door, that one opens, you next door open. And I was like, okay, so I just have to figure out which doors I want to open, right? Like I know they're gonna open. I just need to know which ones. And so, or which avenue to go in. And so I do that for people. It's always, my goal is always to be encouraging, always to be uplifting, always to be inspiring. Um, do I sometimes tell people things they don't want to hear? And the answer is yes. Yes, I do. But not because I'm stepping in it because I think it's going to be hurtful, but because the information I'm receiving may not be the information they want to hear. I one time told somebody they were moving back to their country of origin, and they didn't want to hear they were moving back to their country of origin. And then 3 months later, they moved back to their country of origin. Right.
Yep, yep. Well,
And yeah, go ahead.
that's really cool. It's a different thing. It's something that I've experienced myself. I've worked with others that do similar to what you do, and it's really awesome. And more importantly, super helpful. Like extremely helpful.
Yeah, I want it to be helpful. And so I kind of have a philosophy now where I'm like going to open I've asked people to open their houses. I now do an open Zoom room as well. And then eventually when I get big enough, I'll just do it in a live event in different cities. And people can come in, write their name and email address on a card, and then write down their big burning question. So, what is the big burning question you have? And then, if I pull your card, you have an opportunity wherever you are in the audience to have me say, here's some answers, right? Here are some thoughts. And then maybe if you're brave, you can stand up in the audience and be like, well, let's talk about this a little more. This is how it's playing out in my life. And then we can have a conversation about that. So,
Really
um,
cool.
yeah, that's the goal, is to get big enough to be able to do it live so that people can come and meet me and have a conversation. And the thing I'm finding in my Zoom rooms, because I do this at least once or twice a month in my Zoom room, um, and it's free. People can just pop in for the free event. I mean, for the Zoom room, it's free. Once I do live events, not so free. But like
Yeah.
right now, the Zoom room is pretty free. Um, uh, when I'm giving a word or I'm answering a question for somebody who's in the Zoom room, somebody else in the Zoom room will like raise their hand and be like, "That's mine too." Like, you're saying it
Mhm.
for that person, but I know it's being said for me. Like, I'm in this space and I'm picking up what you're putting down. And so people who like right now the Zoom rooms are kind of small. And so everybody's getting a reading, like I'll be honest. But as the Zoom room grows, only the VIPs, the people who pay for the time, will be the ones who get the reading, right? And so the people in the room, just being in the room, people are like, that was mine. I know that's for me. My being here today, I was meant to hear those words. And so that is
Yeah,
so encouraging for me, because then
definitely.
I'm like able to encourage people just by being present with spirit and hearing, and they're getting what they need to feel encouraged. And that's the goal, is to feel better. Like the whole
Yeah.
goal is to feel better.
And that's the power of opening up and sharing what you're going through. Because it might be something that you're going through, but if you share it like on social media or in a group like that, you're gonna help somebody else going through a similar situation. And that is so powerful.
Yes. So I also have these emails. I'm on my emails. I send out emails about 3 times a week. My emails one goes out Monday for sure. The other one goes out Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on my week, right? Like, let's be honest, it's imperfect.
Yeah.
And then I send out another email on Friday. The Friday email is just, I listen to spirit and I give a channeled email. So it's 100% encouragement. The Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Email is what's going on in my life and what is happening for me right now. And so the email that went out this morning, it's Wednesday when we're recording this, right? So there was an email that didn't go out yesterday, it went out today. The email that went out today was about like, how do you heal a broken heart? Like a really broken heart. Like one of those. I had never had it. I'm 48 years old, and at the age of, I don't know, I must have been 44, I met this guy, and it was the first time that like I got what the love songs were about.
Hmm.
And I really understood like what everybody talks about in the romance novels. I was like, "Oh, this is that thing." I was like, "I didn't get it before, but now I get it." And getting over that, not so easy. And so I actually wrote an email today about all the practices I put in place in order to be able to heal my heart in a whole way, right?
Hmm.
In a whole way. So
I like that.
in The Tale of Despero, which is a children's story about a mouse with abnormally large ears by Kate DiCamillo, she talks about this rat who had a broken heart. And when his heart healed, it didn't heal whole, it healed lopsided and crooked.
Hmm.
And so he had a lopsided and crooked view of the world. And I didn't want that when this happened to me. I didn't want to wind up as Churrascoro, right? I wanted to wind up as Kim Beam, wholehearted and able to give her heart to somebody else. And so I did a whole bunch of practices on how to heal my heart. And so my email that went out today was, what did I do to heal my heart so that it's a whole heart ready to be given to somebody else bravely and with full knowledge of what a broken heart feels like?
That's really awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah. So the emails that go out are sometimes like frivolous and silly and like, oh, let me tell you the story. It's really funny. And then there are other emails that go out that are like, no, I'm going to tell you about the time I was, sexually abused as a child, or the time I broke my heart and I had to
Hmm.
heal it, right? Here are the lessons I've learned.
Well, and it's really cool what you're talking about because this week, like, I have a team. We meet every morning, and our like what we're talking about this week is your story and your personal brand. And
Mhm.
what you're talking about goes right along with it. It's you telling your story, talking about something you went through, and then how you overcame that. And as business owners, a lot of business owners don't do that. They think that their business is about what they sell, their products, their services. But what's more important is you. People want to buy from you. Like, if they know you, trust you, and can relate to you, they will do business with you versus somebody else. Even if your prices are higher, they're going to choose you because they like you.
Right. And the thing is, the work I do is super intimate,
Hmm.
right? Like
Yeah.
people are
So,
coming to me and asking me like, should I do this thing? Should I not do this thing? Like, their life is sort of on the line kind of scenarios, or not necessarily that deep. It's just like, I'm thinking about moving to Paris. Should I move to Paris? Which is scary, right? So, like, they come to me and they're like, what is the best? And I always say, what is the best possible outcome? Like, what is the best possible outcome of this? And what is the worst possible outcome? And let's talk about what those things are. Let's talk about your fear. And so they wind up having to be really open with that. And if I'm not willing to be open on my end, why would they be open on their end?
Exactly.
And then why would they trust me as somebody who knows what life is about, right? And to have empathy and compassion if that person hasn't been sharing how they've been experiencing the rocky parts of life, because we all have rocky parts of life.
Yeah, that's for sure. And
Yeah.
if you if you guys like for the audience, if you think about the people that you look up to and follow and trust, like the elites of the world, or whoever it is, maybe it's a sports athlete, whoever, they have a story that you know, and that's why you like them.
Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
that's totally
So
true.
your story is so powerful, and it's so powerful to help others. So, Lily, I just made a video for social media about an hour ago, and I talked about getting out there and sharing your story more, and
Mm.
just helping others through your story.
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about the emails because they go out and then they die, right? They go out and then they die. They go
Yep.
out and then they die. Like, I do have a really high, for me, I think it's a really high open rate. Like, I have a really high open rate, but that doesn't, right? So there's a part of the back of my head, and I've been having conversations with myself. And this is sort of that intuitive, like, let's be really honest. Your intuition comes in, but it comes in really subtle. It comes in really like a whisper, and it's easy to ignore it. And I've been getting for a while that I should be putting these on Substack. And I'm like spaced out. So like I started doing this in January. So if I put it on Substack now, it's like 4 or 5 months,
Mhm.
right? Like it's four
Yep.
months. So if I started like dripping them out on Substack the way that I've been dripping them out in my emails, they'll be 4 months off. So if people
Yeah.
want to get the today note, they would
They
need to
c
be on my email list.
Yep.
But if they wanna know what happened 4 months ago, right, they could still, or 4 months from now, they can find out what happened 4 months ago, right?
Mhm.
Then they can, I'm thinking about putting it out on Substack so that it's just dripping into the feed.
Yep. That'd be really awesome. I'm a video person, so my thought this whole time was record it.
Yeah.
'Cause I know you have a podcast, so that could be like your solo podcast for the day or the week or whatever.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm starting to, do live events, and so the smaller live events, like, people are inviting me into their house and asking me to do a house party, and then we charge 30 a head. And so we split that. Who person who owns the house gets half of the proceeds from the evening and I get the other half, right? Because
That's
they're
cool.
opening their house to me, right?
Yeah.
And so and I'm willing to go. I'm willing to travel. I'm willing to do this wherever, like, because I just want people to be encouraged, really,
Mhm.
honestly. And to be honest, I also want to get out there and meet
I
people.
was gonna say, be honest, you want travel. Come on.
I want to travel and I want to meet peoples.
Yeah.
And so when I do a house party, I have made the promise, because the house party is somewhere between 10 and 30 or 40 people, right? It's not like a huge number. If I don't get to your question at the house party, I will do it on my podcast.
Mm.
So the podcast is just me doing the intuitive readings, but I do have, like, on social media, when I go and do something, like I was in New York City in February, so there's been a lot of videos that've been dripping out into social media about my trip, and my video logs, so my vlogs while I was in New York have been coming out slowly. So I do that. I do the videos.
Yeah.
It is on social media.
That's
Um,
good.
but I'm a writer. Like, I have a master of fine arts and creative writing. I just love writing, and I feel like sometimes my writing is stronger than my written. I mean,
Yeah.
my writing is stronger than my spoken.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you meant. But yeah, I'm the opposite. I don't like writing. I usually have somebody else write my stuff for me, and it's like, here, this is what I want. Make it
Yeah.
good.
Make it good. Make it happen. Make it work.
Yep, yep, yep.
No, and I mean, I also know that like when I get a good channel going, um, speaking is the way to go because it comes out so fast
Yep.
and the information comes so quickly that it needs to be spoken. So the book that I wrote, I actually have it right here. The book that I wrote, Walking Courage, was actually this is my cover. Um,
Cool.
it Walking Courage, Trust in the Whispers of Your Intuition. I actually channeled it. I just opened a Google Doc and I spoke into the Google Doc,
Uh-huh.
and then
Yep.
boom, Bob's your uncle. I had a book.
That's how I do most of my writing. Just I speak it. I I love technology. I take full advantage of it whenever I can.
I I love technology.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. All right, so me and you decided before we got started that we're just gonna be casual. I'm having my coffee. You want to tell us what you're having?
Yeah. So, um, I will tell you, it's just plain hot water. There's no tea bag in it. It's just hot water. I know the look on your face.
Yeah, no.
Everybody is like,
Hot.
What? There's no lemon. There's no honey. It's just plain hot water." I took a trip to LA a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, Christmas ish, before Christmas, 2 years ago. And I was with a friend and we went grocery shopping. And I'm a cancer survivor, and everybody in my hometown pretty much has cancer. Like it's ridiculous numbers of people in my hometown of northern New Jersey have cancer. And so, because I really want Aaron Brockovich to go to my hometown, I have learned not to like drink the water anywhere. So I bought 4 bottles of water when we ran to the grocery store, and I forgot to pack. At that point, I was drinking rose petals. I had forgotten to pack the rose petals. I had forgotten to buy tea while I was in the grocery store. I didn't even think about the fact that I would have to put something in the hot water. So when I got back to the house, we didn't have lemons. Like, we didn't have anything. We didn't have honey. It was an Airbnb, right? When we got back to the house, I was like, well, crap, what am I going to put the hot water in the hot water? And I was like, well, I guess I'm just drinking hot water. I guess, like, if I want tea, we're just going to like rough it and drink hot water. And the second I boiled the hot water and put it in a mug, I realized my entire life I've been drinking tea, not because I want the tea, but because I wanted the hot water. And I realized there was something really satisfying in just having my water.
Interesting.
And I occasionally will drop a tea bag in to be like, oh, well, that's something different, right? But it's rare day. Most of the time I think I've done it once or twice in the past 2 years. So I only drink hot water. And I've realized it really is just what my body wanted.
Huh. Well, and it's good because when you boil it, it gets out a lot of the bad stuff in the water. So,
Exactly. Well,
'cause,
yeah, I just heat up already spring water, right?
yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, because a lot of the water that we drink is not good for you. It really isn't.
Right.
Yeah, it's awful. I have, oh, my house has, I think, 6 filters, and
Hmm.
then I have a Kangen water machine that makes it, whatever, hydrogenated, whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I drink. But yeah, I have a lot of filters. I want to get most of that crap out.
Right,
But
right.
I'm not gonna go as far as drinking hot water. I
The
don't
straight hot
think.
water. The look on
I
your
like
face
I
was
like my
awesome.
hot coffee.
Yeah, yeah. I've actually like cut out of the caffeine. I haven't.
Mhm.
I've been caffeine free for over 3 years now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I know. I don't want to do that either. But I have learned to wait 90 minutes after you wake up to have caffeine because that gives your body a chance for your melatonin levels to drop. So then when you have your caffeine, it actually works a lot better and longer.
Oh,
Yeah, interesting, huh?
that is really
And it's like
interesting.
scientifically proven. I'm not just making it up.
No, I didn't think you were making it up.
But yeah, so yeah, I have my coffee in the morning, just 1 glass, and then water the rest of the day.
Okay.
Usually like 100 ounces a day.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not quite at 100 ounces. I
Yeah,
used to be. I used
yeah,
to be, but I've sort of been a water slack.
yeah. It just, every time that I start to slack, because like last week I was slacking. I bet you I drank 100 ounces in like 5 days. It was awful. And guess what? I felt awful.
Awful.
I could tell like it was terrible. So yeah,
Yes.
I'm all about water. Just drink as much of it as you can.
I agree. I agree.
Just not if it's too hot.
I challenge you to boil yourself up a glass and just see what you think. And if you
Well,
don't like it, you can always just pop a tea bag in.
I'm gonna have to try it now. I am. I'm gonna have to try it because now I'm curious.
Mhm.
Like you said, do I want the coffee or just the warmth?
Right.
Like
That was it. I
what
was
is
just
it?
looking for the warmth.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I didn't actually, so I had stopped drinking caffeine a while ago when I realized that so I had stopped drinking caffeine during the week. I forget how that happened. And I was only drinking caffeine on the weekends. And then I was realizing that my stomach was worse on the weekends than it was during the weekdays. And I was like, you know what? I think it's the caffeine. So I cut out the caffeine on the weekends too. And I was like, I just feel good all over.
Yeah.
I'm not having caffeine anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. A lot of it, I know for me, like if you can cut sugar, that helps more than anything. Like just get rid of the sugar. Like my coffee, it's organic. It's got mushrooms in it. It's as healthy as you can. And I don't use creamer. I don't use sugar, nothing like that.
Yeah, I don't have so I went through this thing, it's called WildFit. Don't know if you've heard of it, but they had a
Mm-mm.
program. It's a program called WildFit, and I did WildFit. And they basically have you, it's like an elimination diet where it have you take you off everything. And then you're
Mm.
off it for like 60 days. And then once you're done with those 60 days, they're like, okay, now experiment and bring something back in and see how it goes. Well, in those 60 to 90 days, I accidentally had some wheat and my body had a huge reaction to it. I accidentally, at one point when this was all done, I was still working with a nutritionist, and she, I went to a family party, and there was really nothing there I could eat but the rice pudding. Surprisingly enough, everything else had dairy in it, it had gluten in it, it had all the things I had learned my body doesn't like, and so I had it with American sugar. Before that, I was eating like mostly honey and maple syrup. And I had been having like sugar in other countries. I had sugar in Ireland. I had sugar in the UAE, and everything was fine. I
Mm-hmm.
even had sugar at a retreat center I go to that's in the Poconos, and that was fine. But when I had this like rice pudding at this family party, 3 days later, I had a meeting with my nutritionist, and she's like, "Well, how are things going?" And I'm like, "Well, yesterday and today were really bad." She's like, "Well, how bad?" And I was like, "Well, I've been panicky. I've been overwhelmed. I've been crying. I've been super emotional. I haven't been able to regulate. All of my practices aren't working. Like all of the things I do to stop all of this from happening." And she goes, "When did you have the family party?" I said, "Well, Saturday." And she said, "Well, it's Tuesday." She said, "That is American sugar."
Mm-hmm.
She said, "All of that is American sugar." She's like, "If you stop using American sugar, you will find that you won't have that problem." And now, if I eat something, like if I go out and I'm like, "I'll have your gluten-free bread," because a lot of gluten-free bread is made with sugar.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have your gluten-free bread, whatever. I'll just have it. And then 3 days later, I'm like a little moody, a little weepy, a little emotionally unregulated. And I'm like, it's the damn American sugar.
Yep. It is, and I know exactly what you're talking about because a while back I did the carnivore diet for a month,
Oh, yeah.
and you want to feel good, do that. Like it just because you cut out like everything bad that we eat, pasta and bread and sugars and all that. You just cut it out, and you're just eating meat and protein. Meat and eggs is all I ate for almost a month.
Right.
Now, you do get sick of it, but it's not terrible. I mean, who doesn't like a good steak?
Exactly. Exactly.
So I did that, and I felt amazing. And then, I started to incorporate other things, vegetables. But then last week, I decided I'm just gonna eat like I used to. So
No,
that was a bad idea.
that was a bad
Bad
idea.
idea.
How
Horrible.
bloated were you?
Oh, I feel awful. I gained over the past 2 weeks because like it was like gradual as you started to eat more and more crap, drinking more and more crap. You know, I had some pop and don't drink pop. That's the worst.
No, I don't. Well,
It's awful.
I mean, we are gaseous to begin with, right? We are
Yeah,
already a gaseous body system. Why are you adding more gas to the system? Like, I
yeah,
just don't
exactly.
understand.
Yeah, it's awful. So over like the 2 weeks, I gained 10 pounds. Like it's awful. Like it's probably a little longer than that because I went to Vegas too, and well, while I was in Vegas, I eating out. But
Yeah, it's not
let's
so
just
easy
let's
to
just say three
clean when
weeks,
you're traveling.
10 pounds. Yeah, I feel awful. So now today and today it's like gradual going back to carnivore.
Mhm.
All I had today was eggs, and tomorrow I'm gonna start just carnivore. I'm thinking more of like the Joe Rogan style diet, where it's carnivore but add in good fruits and vegetables. I think that would be a lot better.
Yeah, I start my day with 2 hard-boiled eggs, berries, and a grapefruit. And then lunch is some meat, right? Like some meat with spinach, sometimes a clean, like an extremely clean salad dressing like Primal Kitchen. I'll let that in, but I check the label very carefully and won't even like
Yep.
xanthan gum into my system.
Yeah.
So like um I found a seasoning only non-dairy ranch kind of seasoning that you can make yourself. And
I
so I'll
like
sprinkle
ranch.
yeah. I'll sprinkle that over my salad, over my lettuce or my spinach, and then I put the meat on it. And sometimes the meat and the spinach enough that the meat has enough flavor that it takes care of like set the need for salad dressing. So I'll do chicken or I'll do ground beef. And then dinner tends to be some meat product with maybe green beans, a homemade spaghetti sauce. Maybe it's just the meat and some sweet potatoes or meat and some butternut squash.
There you
And the
go.
sweet potatoes and butternut squash is no butter, no syrup, nothing. It's cinnamon. I'll just put cinnamon on top. I'll just
Yep.
like cook it straight and then once it's clean, like once it's cooked, mash it up and then put cinnamon on top. And then the other thing I will own is I am taking a collagen and I am taking like one supplement pill. And then the other thing I take or I do is I make my own cashew coconut milk. I have an
Hmm.
almond cow. And so,
Really?
yeah, it's a device that you like open up and it's got a basket on it and you put a cup of material into the basket. So I put coconut shreds and cashew nuts. And then I close it, put the lid on, and then you put the water in the container, put the whole thing together, right? And then in 10 minutes it makes milk for you. So in the morning I'll have that milk, I'll put it in my steamer frother
Mhm.
with a little bit of maple syrup and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. I'll add some apple pie spice or pumpkin pie spice, maple syrup, and apple cider vinegar. So it has a little bit of flavor. And I
Yeah.
have that steamer every morning.
Really?
Yeah,
That
that's
sounds
pretty
really
much my
good.
entire diet right there.
Sounds good. It's funny that we started talking about diets and health and stuff, but the reason why we do it is because we both know that you're not okay mentally if your
Yes.
body is not okay.
Yep.
And you won't know that unless you do something like carnivore diet, which I don't even like to say diet. Like, make it a lifestyle choice. Don't make it
Exactly.
a diet. Diets end. Make it a lifestyle choice. Don't do what I did and do it for a month and then go back to your crap and then feel like crap for another month. Yeah, don't do that. Just make it a lifestyle choice. And you can, have a few things here and there. That's fine. But
Call those few things here and there, I call them experiments because I want to know how it's going to affect my body. I'm like, what
yep,
happens if I eat this?
yep.
Rice has been okay. I've been having some rice and it's been okay. I make it in chicken broth. And so
Mm,
maybe the side at dinner is a piece of meat or a bit of meat and rice,
yep,
right? Instead of
yeah.
the green vegetable or the butternut squash.
And like everything that we're talking about, like it's delicious food. So it's not like you're eating just salads every day, you know? It's not that kind of lifestyle.
No.
Good, healthy foods.
Yeah.
Organic.
Organic.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, this has been awesome.
Thanks.
And I gotta ask you, where
Yes.
can people find you?
Well, so my mom in her infinite wisdom, she thought everybody would call me Kimberly, right? She didn't think anybody would ever call me Kim. She's like, I never thought your name would be Kim. I always thought you would be Kimberly. And I'm like, no, mom, my name is Kim. Like I am Kim. And she's like, well, now I know who like knows me through my mom because they all call me Kimberly, right? But I'm Kim. And when you call me Kimberly, sometimes I think I'm in trouble. So
Which we were talking about that at the beginning.
yes.
That's what
So
we were talking about. I was like, yep, if I got the Nicholas Anthony, I was in trouble.
Kimberly Joy, I was dead,
Yeah,
dead in the
done.
water. So my name is Kim, and I was like, Mom, you named me Kim Beam, like Jim Beam. Like, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I didn't think anybody would call you Kim. I thought everybody would just call you Kimberly. And I'm like, what world? In what world does that happen?
Yeah.
So I'm Kim Beam, right? So kimbeam.com is my website. You can sign up for the free reading event, get yourself into my Zoom room, and I'd be happy to give you a reading. The next one, well, I'll make this evergreen. The next one is going to be posted on the website, right? So just hop on over. I'm going to start doing live events. My book is out there, Walk in Courage, Trusting the Whispers of Your Intuition. But really, if you come in and you sign up for the Zoom room, you'll get yourself those emails I was talking about, and you'll find out like real honest, how do you handle life situations, or how do I handle life situations when they come up? I'm a meditator, I'm an intuitive. I think those are like my two main things, right? Like this is the way I come at the world, is through meditation, through kindness, through supportive thoughts. And yeah, kimbeam.com is how you find me.
Awesome. Awesome. And I gotta ask you the same question I ask everyone.
Yes.
So my slogan is your abilities are infinite. What does that mean to you?
So when I was younger, I really, really wanted to hear spirit. Like I really wanted to hear spirit. And I was like, how do I press in? Because I wanted to know. I felt like if I was hearing correctly, then I knew I was doing the right thing. I was afraid of screwing up my life, right? And so whenever I like break up with somebody or I make a new path, I leave a job, the fear I have is, did I just make a mistake? Right. And so I really wanted to hear. And I pressed in to hear. Well, I found out later from somebody else that the way you hear spirit is actually through your learning style. So if you're a kinesthetic like I am, you're just going to know. You're just going to know that you know. But if you're an auditory learner, you're often going to have it as a thought or as it a voice, maybe even outside your head. And then if you're a visual person, you're going to have like images pop in your head, like imaginations, like when you're reading a book. And I was like, I've been trying to hear, and I'm visual and I'm kinesthetic. These are not my learning style. Like I was trying to do it the hard way, right? And so I pressed in more and more to hear and to hear and to hear and to hear and to see and to see. And the more I pressed in, the more I found. The more I worked on myself, the more spirit there was to know. And I have found that we are infinite because there's always more and bigger. There's always more and bigger. And I have found, and I don't know I always call it source because I don't know what your source is, right? Like, I don't know what you subscribe to, even as a listener, right? I don't know what you subscribe to as your defining, guiding, beneficent faith system, right? That's your source. Could be Allah, could be Jesus, could be spirit, could be universe, right? Whatever your phrase is. I have found that that is bigger, more loving, more kind, more infinite, more than you can even imagine, the more I press into it. The more I press into it, the more it allows me to see just how great and big and kind and supportive it is. So, yeah.
Your explanation of what that means to you was amazing.
Oh,
Thank you for that.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, this was so fun. Thank you for being on the show.
Nick, thank you so much for having me. I super appreciate it.
Of course. And we'll have to do this again.
I agree.
All right. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. If you enjoyed this show, please go ahead and share it on your Instagram story and tag me in it, the Nick Yerhart. Also, go ahead and share it anywhere else that you see fit, because the only way that I can grow this is by you guys sharing it. I don't sell anything on here. I don't have any sponsors, so let's just get it out there by word of mouth and help more people. Alright, everyone, remember, your abilities are infinite.